Music transcends, it's the greatest communicator. Goes directly to the deeper mind and the heart. And so we're so blessed to have these great musicians share their music with us every Sunday. And good morning to all of you. Okay. We expect that the numbers in the seats are going to pick up pretty soon. And that's because Syntysche is back today. And she is here to share in a very expanded way what we are going to be doing to create the new unity of Boulder. She's going to bring us into that new divine dimension. And that's what we're here to do. And look forward. Oh, is there anybody here from another unity? Anybody here for the first time? Okay. Anyway, look forward to this talk coming your way.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Boulder. We love spending time with you each week. Everyone here joining us in-house and everyone who's joining us online, thanks for hanging out with us. I have a few announcements of upcoming events here at Unity of Boulder. One of them is actually about what's not happening. Is today we did have planned, we were going to have a prayer team training following this service, but our prayer leader, Steve Sheets, he's under the weather. He's fine, but he's under the weather enough that he couldn't come in today and teach that, so we're going to reschedule that probably about a month from now. So no prayer team training today. July 11th, that is a Saturday. We have rented a huge gazebo in a beautiful park in Lyons, and we are going to be having a barbecue party there all day from 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. We'd love you to come hang out with us. There's all kinds of fun stuff to do there. There's a river to play in. There's a big, huge field. We're going to have games and fun stuff going on there. There's a list out in the lobby where you can sign up to bring certain food items that we would need. And all around, it's just a good time. It's if you've never been to Lyons is really only about 15 minutes north of Boulder. It's just right up Highway 36. And it's the park is on this side of Lyons, so it's really not very far. Definitely come hang out with us. We're gonna have so much fun at that. Let's see what else. We have our open source spirituality group today meeting. That's our young adult group, our 18 to 25-year-old group. They are going to be meeting in the bookstore here following this service at 12:30. Anyone who's 18 to 25 is welcome to join. And that group this will be the last meeting for the summer till August. They're going to go on hiatus and take the summer off. But definitely, if you've never been, go check them out. It's a great group of young adults. And finally, today, following this service, we are going to be doing an outdoor cleanup of our parking lot. If when you drove in today, you might have seen it's a little overgrown. If we only want to do this for an hour, so if you have any time to spare, we've got a few extra tools and stuff to cut, trim, and clean up the area. Please join me following this service. And last but not least, definitely if you're on social media at all, please follow us. Follow Unity of Boulder. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Follow us, give us likes every now and then. It really helps spread our message and spread the name Unity of Boulder out there to reach other people who are searching for other things Unity related. So definitely follow us there. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity. This is the point in our service. It's a call for prayer. It's an opportunity for us to bring to mind any family members or friends that are facing any challenges in their life and to connect in consciousness with them, to see them coming back to wholeness, to balance in mind, body, and spirit. And this is Lisa Temple. You can write their names down on a piece of paper. You don't have to put the last name or what the issue is. We know Spirit already knows what you need before we ever even ask. So it's really just us aligning ourselves in this healing. You can put their name down and Lisa will pick up those names and put them in our prayer box for the next 30 days, and then those will be sent to Silent Unity, and they'll be prayed over for another 30 days. But we like to sing this song just to come in the presence of this room and leave the world outside these doors and just allow ourselves this gift of this time of connection with Source, with Spirit, with God. You are the air I breathe. You are the air I breathe. Your holy presence invite our entertainment club to come up, and we're going to sing We Are Walking Each Other Home. Good, we can get on the microphone. You know this, so sing it with us. We are walking each other home, drawn by the flow of love. We are walking each other home, drawn by the flow of love. Sing it again. We are walking each other home, drawn by the flow of love. We are walking each other home, drawn by the flow of love. The darkness magnetizing power, love is the harmonizing power, love is the unifying power as we walk each other home. Now you know it, sing it out. We are walking each other home, drawn by the flow of love. We are walking each other home, drawn by the flow of love. Can I get that, please? Do it by the flow of love. We are walking each other Beautiful. Didn't that feel good to sing? Okay.
And now I'd like to welcome out today's special musical guest, Galadriel Sardonicus. Galadriel, are you here? There she is. This is Galadriel Sardonicus. We're welcoming her back to our stage. She was here, it's been at least a few months, huh? Oh, but welcome back, Galadriel.
Thank you. This song is called Sacred Dance. And before we get started, I'd like to invite everybody to just take a deep breath with me. The flaming dark night, oh, I am pure light, star bright, with wings to fly, embrace the blackened sky. With flesh of feet rooted firm into the ground. When spirit listens, carry song and sacred sound. Oh, dance with me, mother, your heartbeat in my bones. And dance with me, Father, I am coming home. Dance with me, brother, now is the time to pray. And dance with me, sister, now's the moment to play. With flesh of feet rooted firm into the ground. When spirit listens, carry song and sacred sound. Oh, dance with me, mother, your heartbeat in my bones. And dance with me, Father, I am coming home. Dance with me, brother, now is the time to pray. And dance with me, sister, now's the moment to play. Thank you.
It's a beautiful way to start. Thank you so much. Beautiful, interesting voice, just gorgeous. So today my talk title is Tutto Passa, which means everything passes, which is a phrase that I learned when we were in Italy this last week. And this is my daughter and I floating in the ocean, in the Mediterranean, and it was magical. But before we got to that part, you know, this trip was planned, we started planning this trip last October, and it was supposed to be just my eldest daughter and my youngest daughter because my daughter's 11 years older than my youngest, and Rinya had a pact with them, with Tyler and her, if they got a 3.8 or more in high school, she'd pay for them to go anywhere in the world that they wanted to go. And Tyler didn't make it, so he didn't get to go on his trip a few years ago. But Katya did, and so they were supposed to go, and she decided she wanted to go to Italy. And she'd heard me talk so fondly about my trip there 4 years ago with Mike and actually my eldest daughter on that trip too. And so they were putting the whole trip together, and they called me while they were putting together, and they were like, "It's just not going to be as fun without you, Mom." And it was very touching to me because, you know, as a mom, you're not really usually the fun one that you want to have come along on a trip, but there's not a greater compliment from your kids that they feel like you're going to be the silly goose that makes it fun, but they are kind of serious girls. They're both Sages, and they do have these very rich, deep, old souls that aren't as goofy as I am. And if anything, I kind of annoy them that I am the goofy one in this family. So we planned the whole trip, and we've just headed out. Katya graduated from high school about 3 weeks ago, and I got ordained officially as a Unity minister 2 weeks ago. So it was actually kind of timely that I was getting to go on this trip so we could celebrate each other. But Tutto Passa is an Italian phrase meaning everything passes. It reminds us that every season of life, joy and sorrow, beginnings and endings, success and failure, is temporary. But if everything passes, what remains? And I think that that really points to the impermanence to life, right? And how we can really flow and be in the presence of life. And really, first of all, it's nice to know that everything passes when things are difficult, obviously, but also to recognize that we really bask in the beauty and the goodness when things are really wonderful, like traveling and, looking at sunrises and just enjoying the mystery of this life and really cherishing those moments because everything does pass. And so there's so many different seasons in a lifetime, and I'm just about to start a new season myself with my youngest child. She's going to take a gap year, but going off to college, and I'm going to have an empty house. And I've had a full house for my eldest daughter's 29, so 29 years I've had kids in the home, and I don't take that lightly, the reality of that quietness that's going to come into my home and what that life looks like now for me. And obviously it's wonderful that I'm stepping into this whole new phase here too, so I will have a lot of things to fill my time, a lot of beautiful things to fill my time. So it's all in divine timing, and you just really learn to see that, the timing of me having to go back to school and this happening right before the last child goes. You start to watch how the universe is forming every aspect of our lives without us even really noticing it. Or are we creating it subconsciously? Or are we praying it in? All of those are the questions that started coming up for me when I was on this trip. But we went to Italy for 10 days. And when we left, our plane was delayed heading to New Jersey, and we just barely got our flight to Rome. We were running through the airport. And when we got to Rome, our luggage didn't make it. Then we see the Tutto Passa, right? Things pass, it passes, right? But now we are in a heat wave in Rome. I don't know if you guys have been hearing about Europe and how hot it is there. But we were staying in an Airbnb, and there's no air conditioning in most places unless you're in a hotel. So we ended up going to our Airbnb, which is 4 stories up a staircase with an elevator that was only for luggage, so there's no elevator. So we've hiked all over the city in old, warm clothes that we wore because we don't want to freeze in the plane. We all have tennis shoes on. We are cooking. Then we climb all these stairs, and we get to this place, and when we walk in, it is, and the first floor isn't counted, so it's actually the 5th story. And it's just it was heat I'd never felt in my life. And we walked in, we're opening all these windows, thinking that wind is going to come into this, but there is no wind coming in. And at some point, it's we've all taken our shoes and our socks off, and we're just in almost deliriously. You know how heat can start to make you feel almost crazy? We're all now laying on the marble floor, just panting and thinking, how are we going to get through this? When a laughter came over us that just for 15 minutes was the most cleansing laugh. That this is not how we pictured it. You have a picture of Italy, you've got all your great clothes, you're going to walk around, you're going to go see the sights, and we're drowning in sweat. And this Airbnb, you know how usually they offer little coffee pods in the kitchen, little things, but there wasn't even hand soap on the sink. So there's not even soap in this place. So we managed to take some freezing cold showers and have to go out into the city and purchase just some basic stuff because they said our luggage was going to come the next day. And it didn't. It didn't come for 3.5 days. And, you know, your skincare, your shampoo, like I have very sensitive skin stuff, and like I have none of my gear going into a completely different climate. And you don't ever ask why these things happen. You just recognize that there's something to it. If this life is a school, something was being stripped away in this process, right? It's that idea that we have this idea that something is going to work out a certain way, and it doesn't. And then we keep thinking we're going to get the relief when the luggage comes, and it doesn't come. And finding these depths and depths of patience, and being in a dynamic of a mom and 2 daughters, I mean, we can bicker. I mean, we are normal human beings. And how do we do this and still love each other through the journey? So it was a growing moment. We went shopping. We bought an outfit that we washed every night and put it out to dry, and it was dry by the next morning because it was so hot. And so we started to flow with it, and I noticed my daughter when she talked to United Airlines each day when they said they'd be there, and we're sitting at the Airbnb not enjoying our trip because they keep saying they're going to deliver it, and they're not, and they didn't, right? And I'm getting really frustrated with the fact that they keep having us just missing out on our trip, sitting there waiting for the luggage. And when my daughter, who's 29, was calling them, there was such a kindness in the way she talked to those people. Even though we were being so displaced by the situation, I was enamored by the moral compass that she lives by, that those people, you could get frustrated with them, but it's not their fault. You know, things happen. And I know grown, awakened spiritual people that would not have talked to these people the way she did. The honoring and the kindness. And when we finally got the luggage, the night before we left for Procida, which is an island in the Mediterranean, it did show up at 11 o'clock at night, and we were getting on a train the next morning at like 8. So, I mean, it appeared. We would have been without clothes the entire trip. And when they came, Wendy went running down there and gave that person $50 for delivering our luggage. Right? Like, and I'm just watching this, just look at this masterpiece that I've raised. You know, this kindness, this honoring of others, that nobody owes her anything. And I've always been very kind to people when I've been in situations, but I have a best friend that I've traveled with a lot. And that's not how she would have talked to those people. Let me just tell you, I've got a best friend that would make these people be nervous, that lawyers would be involved, like that kind of a person. So to watch this kindness and this sweetness, and to watch my youngest daughter adjusting. So we took the cold showers, and we did what we had to do, and it reminded me of this saying, there's a rhythm in the universe that does not depend on what we believe. It is present when we stand before a mountain range, witness the birth of a child, sit beside someone taking their final breath, or experience a moment of profound awe. It is the quiet recognition that life is sacred and that we belong to something greater than ourselves. And the testing of that situation and how we got closer and closer, because when you're hot, you're very raw. You become very naked with each other, chatting about things, because the smoke screens come down. When we are in a heat situation, we're too cold, if you've noticed, there's a truth that comes forward, right? And I learned a lot about these girls. And what was interesting to me was on this trip is that Arenya being 11 years older than Katya, that relationship was not really sisterly so much, because Rennie was kind of like the junior mommy. I'd refer to her as the junior mommy, because I was working and going to school the whole time I was raising Katya, and she was my helper. She was my helpmate. She was more of a babysitter, than a sister. So to watch them discovering who each other was to each other now, and was a beautiful thing to watch, that this friendship was starting to be birthed between the two of them. And where I was always the point of interest when I was ever around those two girls, it was always kind of one, because very different dynamic mothering between the two kids. I was the point of interest, but now I noticed that they became a unit on this trip. And I was so relieved, honestly, because I always wondered if that was going to happen, you know, with that 11-year difference. And to be a part of the process of watching that happen, and it came through the stripping away of the comforts of life, where they had to have a kind of a turbulent experience where they were a shelter unto each other. And all of a sudden, now this is sisterhood, right? And as a mother, obviously, you know, we want our kids to be close because we know we're not going to be on the planet forever. We want them to have that person that they can rely on, you know, that they can lean on and be there for each other throughout life. So to take that in and to watch a shift happen in my family dynamic was really amazing. And in James it says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." Right? So call it all joy. Right? And I know in life it's not always easy to call all of life joy. But if we can start to build a consciousness that can look through a lens that sees it as joy, even the difficult stuff, even if we have to be sarcastic about calling it joy, you know, when we have the difficult people in our life and we're like, oh, joy, right? You know, we have the people that are growing us and stretching us and building patience and building kindness. And, you know, sometimes we just have to fake it to make it, as they say. You know, I always talk about that when I teach prosperity classes, is one of the first things we do when we start a prosperity class is we get very clear about what we don't want. And there's a list, and everybody makes out the list of what they do not want anymore. And in that journey, they're now taking that in for the very last time, and they will not speak to what they do not want anymore. It's not a language that can even be shared out in the world. So we're working with the law of attraction, and then they write down everything that they do want. You know, a better career, or they want better health, or, you know, picking 4 important things that they're going to work with. And when something shows up that is from the list of the not wanting, they bless it. And blessing, the process of blessing is to make something holy that doesn't necessarily feel like it is, right? So kind of blessing irritating situations out of your life, blessing, but not cursing it, right? Because blessing is like Tai Chi. It's letting it move off of you and not attach, right? Instead of getting frustrated and pushing up against something, it's Tai Chiing it and blessing it away, and then thanking God that the good things are coming, right? And so that was kind of the state I was in on this trip. That was like, let's find the joy. How can we just still make this fun? Let's find, you know, sleep out those really hot hours and then get out in the evening and enjoy live music in the beautiful areas and the fountains and the sprays of the water. And we did find the joy. And we really did feel divinely connected, especially with the people in Italy. They're very kind, very good people. And I found myself a little ashamed of the country that I was coming from when I tell people that we were from America, with all the discord that's going on here. And I didn't find that they looked at me differently. I did find that in Paris a few years ago, actually. They did actually look at you differently. I was like, but they were loving and realized that we are going through a very big transformation in this place right now. So perhaps spiritual truth is not something we are required to accept, but something we are invited to discover. As the Buddha often paraphrased, he said, "Do not even do what I say you should do. Always test out the spiritual unfoldment in your own life and what resonates for you." And that's one of the beautiful things about the unity journey. Unity doesn't put its foot down spiritually about anything. It's really just a community of people coming from all faith backgrounds that can come in here and celebrate and nurture their spiritual life and speak their language of their spiritual life with others, and to be welcomed in that, to build a community of people around you that become a spiritual family, right? That's why I have this discussion group that I do after my service. Jack does a discussion group, but I'm going to be building a lot more of that coming for Welcome Back Sunday, where I'll do about a 20-minute talk, but then we're going to go into groups, and it's going to be more group work and working with each other and really bringing into our own experience whatever the teaching is that I'm sharing about, how you can bring that into your own life and let it captivate your life so that you can have a greater and greater, happier experience here and now, right? Because this still has a vibe of church, right? Me speaking at you for 40 minutes, and you can take it with you, but you know how it is when you can talk with someone else about what you heard and share with others and hear their experiences, how much we learn by just saying things. I notice that so much, because in our circle that we hold, one of the rules is that we don't answer to anybody's share, right? So when it comes to your turn, you speak from your own experience, but to not try to help somebody else as if you've had an experience like theirs and give them the answers to it, because we believe that everybody has this divine, direct connection with the Creator, with Spirit, with Source. And just by putting it out into ethers, it's like it's taking form. And healing starts to appear in mind, body, and spirit as we can share with others about this experience, but we're not here to teach each other. We're here to walk each other home in whatever perfection that is, right? So we're not here to judge. We're here just to love, right? And celebrate all the beauty in each other. Tutto Passa. Everything passes. So while we were in that situation, I realized we got to get to the ocean. Honestly, I would probably not go back to Rome at this time of year. It was way too hot. And the last time I went was the end of April. So it was like perfect. And it's crowded. It was so crowded with people. So I would not highly go to Rome, but go out down to the islands in the Mediterranean, and the water is the most spectacular, most beautiful thing. But I was thinking about the fact that on this trip, how, you know, in America, when we say we're going on vacation versus abroad where they say they're going on holiday. I was kind of contemplating that when I finally got to the ocean, laying on the ocean, on the beach, and how there's a sense that vacation is born from the Latin word vacare, meaning to be empty, to be free from duty, or to vacate. There's nothing wrong with that. But when I looked up what holiday means, it is actually referring to making a holy day. It's about the remembrance of why we are here. So kind of there's that sense that we I can be like this, where we work so hard till the second we go on vacation and we just completely go fried. Because we just get all the duties done and now we're going to vacate, like we're running from our lives. Versus holiday feels like this sense of making something holy. And it is that. When you do leave and go to faraway places like Italy, our family used to always go to the Grand Canyon when we were kids in the summer for like a month, and we'd backpack down into the Grand Canyon and survive off of everything we brought down there. We would have the same experience because you just got away from life. You got away from the noise. You got away from the busyness of everything. And it was about being in nature. It was about being in the breath of the Mother Earth. And so Rome didn't have that feeling to me, but when I got to the ocean and floating in that salty ocean, it is a salty, I've never floated in an ocean that held you like that, like hugging you, like It almost felt like that massage that they do where they're moving you around the ocean. There's something about this water has a buoyancy to it, and all of a sudden perspectives of life, of what's being needed, what is being called for this next phase at Unity, what's being called of my life as a mother, letting my kids go and adventure and go on to their beginning journeys, So the holiday becomes the holy day. I found myself thinking about my parents and feeling a sense of loss that they weren't there experiencing it, because our trips are always together. So it was strange to be with my girls, and my mom and dad aren't taking this in. I could feel this sense I love that our family travels together. And I don't really want to just do 3 of us ever again. I want my husband there. I want my parents there. I want my community, my family, so we all can enjoy the beauty of these experiences. So this Tutto Passa, everything passes, this Italian frame is often heard in times of challenge, in transition, because everything does pass. And isn't that okay? Right? I think there's a lot of us that don't like the impermanence of life, especially when it's things that we've really cherished and really loved. But even when we can learn to flow and understand that everything passes, even the most beautiful things, I'm sitting there with my daughters knowing this will never be replicated again. This age group, this timing, that Arinya doesn't have a baby yet, and she's married, and Katya getting off. This dynamic will never be as perfect and as solid as this moment, and isn't that beautiful? And isn't that okay? Right? And in that joy, you feel that little bit of grief. Have you felt that? When you're really in beautiful joy, you feel that little bit of grief? Because we've felt the loss of beautiful things leave our life. And it's that palpable sense of being connected to Spirit, to God. And when we really know that there's something fundamentally alive in this universe, we can lean on that and know nothing ever can hurt us, make us afraid, or take anything away from us. Because this perfection is a continual. And this beautiful tripod I was in with my daughters is also going to pass. And then there's going to be a new phase with grandkids and all of those other wonderful things that come, right? So on my holiday, I was contemplating my calling to ministry. What is next for our community, and what is being called of me to lead and walk with all of you into this next expression of Unity of Boulder. Right? Unity of Boulder has looked a certain way for a very long time, and it's been under the leadership of Jack and Norma for all of these years, and I've been working for them. And Jack and Norma obviously aren't going anywhere. They're emeritus's now, so basically you'll still see Jack and Norma. They'll still be teaching classes and stuff. But the decision-making with the board is now on me and the board of directors, and that's a bit of a pressure cooker. I could feel myself sometimes sitting on the beach going, am I enough for that? Have you ever felt that way? All of a sudden you've worked so hard. I've been working here for 30 years. I've been the secretary. I've been the administrator. I've been the assistant minister. I've been the associate minister. I've been the senior minister and then brought back to the associate minister because I had to go back into schooling. And I have done every single role that there is. I've done YOU, I've done Sunday school. And I've got a pretty good picture of what is going to work in this next phase. And I'm really excited to implement that and have you all be a part of it. But Tutto Passa means everything passes. The way things were are not going to be the way they are now. And I need you guys to be in that place of knowing that, right? Because there's a tendency where when I will point out some ideas that I'm having, people say, but we used to, and used to is over. It's an illusion. Did you know that? It's actually an illusion. How we remember things and how they actually were can't ever actually be exact. Because we make up stories in our minds when we look back at the used to and the heyday and the perfection of those times. And there was a very big heyday in the center. And there's going to be one again. But we're going to walk each other home in that process. You're going to be walking with me. I'm not going to be walking at you or talking at you. We're going to be doing this together. And so next week we have this really wonderful opportunity where we're going to have a visioning meeting after the second service where people can come and share some ideas that you have that you would like to see happen here at Unity of Boulder. And the board will be here with me and Jack. And I'm just going to point out, if you're going to come with ideas, you have to be willing to lead your ideas. So I don't need more ideas for my staff to take on. When you come with ideas, you're going to be pioneering your idea. So you guys get to get more implemented into this center, and then we'll be here to support that process, right? And we'll find a team for you and all of that good stuff. So I hope this week you will pray about it. Think about some things that you would like to experience here, or you would like to share, some of your talents and things of that nature, because it's a collective. And it's not just going to be the main point is the minister anymore. This is going to be led by the people. And you are the people. And I will be here to administrate this, however the universe guides that journey. So I just want to take you into a short meditation and just kind of let us take this into our being and into our body. And just close our eyes and get our feet flat on the floor and just let this next 5 minutes just purify. Go into that holy day, that holiday, remembering why our life is so blessed. And if there's areas that are not blessed, let's not go there right now, because everything is a teaching moment. So I invite you to close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath in and slowly let it out. And again, breathing in peace and breathing out anything you no longer need to carry. Allow your body to settle. Allow your mind to become quiet. Allow your heart to become open. And now in your imagination, begin to step beyond everything you can see with your physical eyes, beyond your schedules, beyond your worries, beyond your opinions, beyond even your name. Imagine yourself entering a vast field of light. Not a place far away, but a presence that has always surrounded you and always lived within you. Here there is no fear, no judgment, no striving, only love. Notice how this unseen realm feels. Perhaps it feels like peace, or it feels like home, or it feels like being completely known and completely seen and loved. As you bask in this sacred presence, gently ask your soul, what are you trying to teach me in this season of my life? Don't force an answer, simply listen. Perhaps it's a word that rises, or an image, or it's a feeling, but just trust whatever comes in this moment. Now here's another question you can ask. What am I being invited to release? Perhaps it is the not knowing, or fear, or control. Maybe it's an old story about yourself that no longer serves you. So let's breathe in again. And now with a again. As you breathe out, imagine placing it into the light and watch it dissolve in love. And now ask one final question. How may I become a greater expression of love for this world? You feel your heart gently expand. Recognize that the unseen realm is not asking you to escape this life. It is preparing you to return to it more awake, more resonant in its beauty and love, more compassionate, courageous, more present. And take one more deep breath in. Feel that same presence now filling your body, your mind, your heart. Know that this unseen realm is never separate from you. The kingdom of God is within you. And wherever you go, that presence goes with you when you are ready. So now, bring your awareness back to this room. Feel your feet upon the earth. And take one last deep breath. And in the exhale, open your eyes. Take a look around and recognize all the faces of God that's surrounding you at this time. And I'm so grateful for all of your beautiful faces and all of your hearts and all you contribute in your consciousness for this world and for this planet. And I'm grateful. Amen.
Well, I don't know, you don't often get an opportunity to hear Spirit speak so authentically as we did this morning. And that's the beautiful part about Syntysche moving into this place where she can use her keen intuition to develop the new unity of Boulder, the community of Boulder. And that's going to be from her intuition and your intuition coming together to establish that beautiful authenticity. So I am just overwhelmed with love now for all that's going to be taking place here. And I'd like to say to all of you that are watching this on a screen, unity still exists in the world. We have expenses just like anybody else who has to do business in the world. And so while you're tuning in to get these beautiful experiences and ideas that you can put to work in your life, you would be open to help unity spread it more fully and completely in our community and in some small way in the world, if you are willing to just tithe to unity in a meaningful and regular way. And you can do that by going to unityofboulder.com, and you'll see all the different ways you can participate in that. So I'm asking you to do that as we move forward now to the new unity of Boulder. And our thanks goes out to those recurring tithers who are willing to just allow us this amount that they set aside to give us on a regular basis. That gives us an opportunity to know how much money we have to spend, and therefore we can choose those things that have to be dealt with and paid for, and we choose the priorities. So we have a lot of things that still require financing, and so I'm saying we appreciate the recurring tithers who allow us to do that, know how much we have in hand to some degree, and we can go forward and take care of business. To everyone here, we just bring into our hands today that gift we'd like to make to Unity of Boulder from your heart, knowing what Unity's principles are actually all about. It's about creating a new world in ourselves and in all of humanity. That's what you're giving to. So with your gift in your hands, let's bless the gift with this offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is. And we have our guest speak to share music with us once again. Our guest singer. Come on out. I didn't pick up your name. What's your name?
It's Galadriel.
What?
Galadriel?
Delifield?
Galadriel.
Galadriel.
Yes.
It's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
All right. Good one.
Well, that was a really beautiful ceremony, and I just wanted to say thank you to Syntysche. I felt really resonant with the quote, "We're all walking each other home," because the song, Return to Eden, is about how we treat our bodies as a place of home, and that they're these sacred beings, these gardens of Eden to be cherished.
There's this place that I know we've all known from long ago. This place exists without time, exists as truth, as pure soul. A garden of light, of grace that's divine, bridging the body and the mind. This land of light drives darkness out of its hole with benevolence, with arms to cradle you when you feel alone. And I return to the Eden in my heart. This garden to be tended to will be my heart, and water and sun and the soil in my bones. I tend to you, my body, for you are my home. Here I sow the seeds among the seeds that have been planted long before me. And more seeds are being planted out of necessity, for freedom, for food, for creativity. And I return to the Eden in my heart. This garden to be tended to will be my yard, and water and sun and the soil in my bones. I tend to you, my body, for you are my home. This garden is safe for everyone. This garden is safe for all faces. This garden is safe for all bodies, for all walks of life, for all races. Children of the earth and from distant lands, let us return to the garden. Let us please hold hands. And I return to the Eden in my heart. This garden to be tended to will be my yard, and water
Back to you.
Thank you for your beautiful music. Come back again. Get back on our schedule. You're amazing. Really beautiful voice. Really unique. Beautiful voice. Yeah. All right. Well, we have prayer partners available. We have a prayer partner available to you. Unfortunately, Steve Sheets is out sick today, so we're not going to have our prayer partner training. And it's actually not going to happen in July. It's sometime in August, and you'll see it in the handout when we figure out a good date for that. So after we complete the service, you can just stay seated in your seat, and the prayer partner will come and find you and take you down to our meditation room. I will have a discussion group right after the service, right back here. And then Mike really needs helpers to do some trimming on the trees so we can see the signs more. The trees are all overgrown, so we're trying to make it, we just put new signs in. I don't know if you noticed that. But now we want the world to see the church, and there's a million trees. You can't even see the center. So if you could get out there to 1 hour of just cooking in the sun and helping us out would be really, really great. So let's all rise, and we're going to close with "Let There Be Peace on Earth."
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creation, family all of me. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous now. To take and live in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
All right, now let's release it and let it go. Here we go.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Now it's your turn. Let's hear you.
I read in the Spirit.
You
In
sound
my
awesome.
heart. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Woo! Beautiful singing.
We also have fellowship with food and coffee and everything else in there too. So we got plenty of places for you to have a little community.